Go ahead and get on your baby bed. We'll try to get warmed up and level them on up a little bit. Donk. These guys definitely were tanking me yesterday. I have no passive life regen, which I don't really like. Doesn't feel that great. I'm also just whiffing. Cool. Yeah, look, my life just never goes up. I have no regen whatsoever. I have the tiniest bit of life leech. That's just not good. It's just not good to have no life regen. Seems weird. Let's see. I feel like I actually need a Regal more than I need an Exalt. Hold on a second. What you doing, Sam? Come on. Come on. This one's as good as it's gonna get. Could chuck it on a little helmet. This helmet has been... We don't need the crit though, is the weird thing. Chuck it on the boots. The boots have been good for us. There's a little bit of life regen. We'll take it, actually. We'll take it. You don't like the no life leech? Yeah, me either. 116 armor. Sheesh. It's kind of nice. I might have to craft on that bad boy. But yeah, no life steal, no life regen. Kind of weird. I did the tiniest bit of life leech right now, but life leech is still only over like 1 second, so it's like doesn't really last that long. Uh-oh. We're dying too. Uh-oh. I have to go check them vendors here in a second too. But yeah, we gotta get warmed up on this dude. Our damage definitely is not insane. Especially feeling it in this particular environment, which does make me a bit worried. It's like, okay, so now we're into this big one, and we got no dam. Not great. Gotta charge up a little bit longer. Just get that timing just right here. There's usually a rare in this pack though, huh?
I need more time.
I think so. Oof. Try to ignite these dudes. Ouch.
No challenge.
Ow. Where's my block, dude? I think I'm probably playing like the worst possible thing you can play. But if it works in HCSSF, you could send it, I guess, huh? It's potentially a good sign. I do have an iron rune, so if we can farm up like a socket, then we could chuck an iron rune on my weapon. Could be good. Could be nice. You're the opposite, plenty of damage, no defense. Yeah. Are you using the two-hander? Uh-oh. I think you do want some damage. I'm not even really convinced that I have defense. I haven't really invested in defense besides the ascendancy. But we're just using a shield, I guess, is kind of an investment in defense, sort of. He's just jumping right over. Coming right in. I like the concentrated effect, but I was also considering doing the longer ignite against the boss. But yeah, I was thinking last night, I was like, martial tempo, I don't think is it. Can't block slams. Those guys can't. We'll be able to eventually. When we get our second ascendancy. That'll be nice. Does Bone Shredder have its own built-in life leech? Am I making that up? I swear we heal off of it. I don't know where I'm seeing that from. We definitely do now, but even before I had life leech on my gloves, I felt like we were healing off of it.
Charge.
I don't know what's up with that. Not mad about it. I'm about to say, if I could rolling slam up there, that'd be sick. Be super cool. Doom. Yep. That's the thing, is I don't think we actually need the amount, like, ignite duration on him as much, because ideally we're kind of igniting him frequently with Perfect Strike. So I'm with you on that. Just try to make it do more damage. Hit harder. And there's not really any AoE, like, I mean, there's a little bit of AoE, but it's not like that big of a deal to give it up. Okay, so I was thinking we would maybe grab this, and I was also thinking last night I might need a respec out of this just to try to give us some other kind of damage. Just to do something. Like 4 points would 1, 2. We could do fire damage, right? And fire pen, and then we could do even one more here, right? To do even more damage against this boss. That'd be kind of worth. That'd be kind of worth. I like the skill speed. I do, but I need to see how it feels to not have this. I think that's just like, it's a little bit too much utility. We're not really quite ready to do like things that are like nice, you know? It's like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, the wheel filled out, so the other fire ones feels better. This one right here. Which wheel? Filled out. I want to do this one. This extra as, I'm not really sure, yeah. But this one I think is going to be nice. Just to bonk on fools, yeah. This one's okay. I just think that enemies are burning all the time, so it's like, there's that, right? We don't really need the chance to ignite so much. But the extra fire damage would be cool. Penetrating fire res, I think, is almost kind of the same thing, right? Yeah. What's up, Lance? Almost kind of the same thing, but yeah, we're doing a warrior in HCSSF, and I think he will very soon be just a normal SSF warrior. I think the HC tag is gonna get knocked off of this guy here pretty soon, but not yet. Not yet. I don't think I need to go 12% increased fire damage yet. We'll just do this one, because I think I might want this eventually. Let's see if we can grab another level just for fun. Just for fun. I don't know if I should salvage that. I feel like we might want to craft on that. See what happens. It's big armor, which doesn't really matter that much, but it's got a socket on it already, which is pretty nice. I think we'll take one of our essences. Armor life combo. Okay, not the worst ever. And it keeps trying to give me crit chance. So it's less life, more armor, but I could chuck a fire resistance in there, which I think would be pretty valuable. That might make it better. Even though I lose a little bit of life. I think it makes it pretty good. I don't really need the cold res. Crit chance is irrelevant. Don't really want that. But reducing my crit chance doesn't really matter then, right? Let's grab that for now. This is kind of cool. The damage doesn't quite compare, but it's kind of neat. Alright. Chuck it on in.
Young one.
Chuck it on in. Keep leveling for a little bit. So I take it easy for the PoE. I'm slowly getting burned out. Yeah, take it easy. Absolutely. You got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Alright, so now we have like just a little bit over 50 fire and lightning res, which I think is mostly what the boss does. That's good. Dink.
Break.
Is there even a gambling vendor at this point? So, skill speed is a little slower, but I don't think that's a big deal. So we're level 32. The area is, the area is level 32. We're level 34. Are we gonna grind out another level? I don't think so. That are still alive. About to see if that even is the case here in a minute. Let's go give it a try. Let's go see how much damage we take.
The fool under the hooded one's sway.
I don't know if we need to grind out a whole nother level.
No matter. You'll find
Let's see how much damage we do versus how much damage we take. Just give it a try. If we just get shroasted, then it is what it is, right? We'll see. Perfect strike all the way? Yeah, on bosses, 100%. For sure.
We are the storm. For my people.
Yeah, you keep those lightning things away from me.
The manifest will pay.
Ouch.
I need more time. Cannot give up.
Is this his mechanic? Tis. Okay. I was hoping that would hit him too. I don't think they did. Oh, maybe. Oh, maybe. Damage is feeling okay.
I don't have time for this. Sands bends to my will. Impede my enemies. The era
Dodge that.
of the Faradun is now. Blood.
Now the end of this boss is what gets kind of freaky, huh? Okay.
The era of the Faradun. Our gift to you.
I actually can't see what he's doing here. Okay.
We will blot out the sun.
Oh no.
Will
That was troll.
not win. You will be forgotten. Forge of hate. This hate. The Baraketh will pay.
Ow. There's a lot of mechanics all at once here, huh? There we go. Hey, we tanked all that pretty good. Nothing got too scary there.
This is not
Good,
over.
good.
Not
Yeah, nothing got too freaky there, huh? Yeah. Just enough damage. Yeah, this guy's... We've designed him to be a little bit tankier than super high damage, but that was definitely sufficient damage. Act 2 build update now? Yeah, we'll show you guys what we were cooking with. Oh, a lesser jeweler's nice. That's going straight on the perfect strike for sure. Nice. Yeah, we'll definitely do a little build update. There we go.
war Return with me.
Not too bad, not too bad. I was a little bit worried about our damage, but it seemed sufficient. Especially pulling nodes out of the attack speed, which was kind of nice, but... Alright, let's go have a little look. We'll just leave his little bloody corpse there and talk about what we got. Sports on perfect check? Yeah, let me show you what we're cooking with. So, talent-wise, we're playing a Warbringer, so we're playing, like, ultra-ethical melee Giga Chad. Basically, what I'm doing with my hardcore SSF character is I would rather play a warrior than any other class. And I was like, well, if we're just gonna play warrior again, maybe we'll do SSF to make the like a little bit of an interesting experience. Solo self-found is what SSF stands for, by the way, if you guys didn't know. So you find you play only solo, and your only gear that you have is like what you find. So there's no trading. So I thought if I'm gonna play SSF, we may as well play hardcore SSF. So where you die, you know, you're knocked out of the hardcore league. You can still play your character in SSF, and I may even just continue playing this guy in SSF. But my other idea was I wanted to make like a leveling guide for warrior, right? So we're doing HCSSF viable warrior leveling guide, ultra ethical. But I also wanted to try Warbringer because I hadn't played that Ascendancy yet, and I also like the idea of doing fire stuff. So we're playing a HCSSF Fire Warbringer. Is that gonna work? I have no idea, but so far so fun. So far so good, and this is what we're doing so far. So we did ascend for Warbringer. I decided to go ahead and take the block chance first. I want to do like a super good block guy. Next Ascendancy we'll get more block chance, and we can block damage from all hits. Now I actually don't know if I should take this yet. For my second Ascendancy, I don't think I can actually deal with 35% less block chance, so second Ascendancy might be armor break, actually. And then we'll go for the third Ascendancy when I have more talents and stuff. But I might go Armor Break and Jade Heritage for just like 10%, you know, Fizdam DR. Or we could go for like the Warcry thing eventually. But I think my next Ascendancy probably has to be the Break Armor, because I don't think I can deal with 35% less block chance yet. But anyway, what we did for Act 2 is we put points in Renly's training for the first thing. You could maybe take Anvil's Weight, but we're actually doing a lot of fire damage, so... We're going over here for just more damage, taking Brutal for the damage. Now, initially, I kind of I guess I first thing passed through here for just more melee damage. And then we took the damage against burning enemies, because enemies are, in AoE, enemies are frequently burning because we hit them with, you know, Bone Shatter, Herald of Ash, puts everybody on fire, so then you do more damage to them. And then you just also gain extra damage as fire. If this is ignite duration, I'd think about that, but it's not. So we just have more damage against burning enemies, and then single target enemies are always burning, because a perfect strike that you actually do correctly will always ignite an enemy too. So you don't really need ignite chance. Things are going to be burning in AoE and single target. So I thought this was kind of nice, and just extra fizz as fire is kind of cool. I used to experiment with the increased skill speed. I mean, I like it, but I don't think it's as good as this. So for the boss, we put on fire damage. Damage penetrates fire resistance, and then fire damage, fire resistance pen, and magnitude of ignite, which is great for the, you know, the dot damage that you're doing, right? Which is pretty good. I have a good hammer if you want it. Can't take it. We're playing hardcore solo self-found, so only thing we can do is just get our own gear, which is kind of a fun little way to play the game. I think it'll be fun. So anyway, we went through the melee damage for the fire damage. We came down here. I am only using a one-hander. We're using the extra chance to block, so we're not even going to bother with two-handers. We're going to see how that feels. We're going up here for the chance to maim and more damage. Over here, we have attack speed and more attack speed with dexterity, which is nice for... I guess it was accuracy, but now it's also just nice for being able to put on gear. If we don't care about attack speed, we actually don't even need to take these nodes. Dexterity doesn't really do a whole lot for me right now, because we are going over here for Resolute Technique, so that I can't miss. But I also can't crit, but... So the dexterity here doesn't do a lot for accuracy, but the attack speed's still nice, and 15 dex is still good for putting on different pieces of gear, which is good. So anyway, we go over here, we grab Stun Threshold and Strength, Stun Threshold and Strength, Stun Threshold and Life, which is really helpful. I don't usually take this node, but it's right here, and it's pretty helpful, because I'm trying to get any increased damage that I can. Because we're using a one-hander and shield, so you gotta have damage somehow. And it's SSF, so your weapon's not gonna be that great. So anyway, we're grabbing all the increased damage right here. And we're grabbing increased stun buildup and increased AoE. If you stun an enemy recently, remember we're using Bone Shatter to clear, so we're always kind of stunning enemies, so then we'll have more AoE for Bone Shatter, which is cool. We're taking Resolute Technique, so you don't have to worry about accuracy as you level up. And we are using, we actually got a half-decent Jewel. So 13% increased Global Fizz is cool. The Life Leech and Weapon Swap doesn't really matter that much, but it's whatever. And then we're also coming over here for more damage while holding a shield, and I may even put a point here in damage while holding a shield. I'm not 100% convinced about that, but it's kind of just easy damage until I figure out what else I want to do. I might take this eventually, but it's definitely not worth it right now. My shield is like... it has 50 armor, so we wouldn't even be getting that one effect, so that's not good right now. But the increased damage and maybe even the attack speed would be kind of nice to have in the meanwhile until we figure out what we want to do. We may want to consider starting investing in block. We may want to just go ahead and start putting points into strength. Definitely something I want to do is travel over to here to start getting towards this. Eventually we're going to be having a lot of block, and we're going to have, we want more damage, want more damage while holding a shield, and we're going to want the block chance too. And then we're going to have damage per chance to block, which is cool. And then you could also come over and grab a couple of these other things that are in this area that are also nice to have, like the armor break and just damage kind of stuff. That's insane for this, right? We want to break lots of armor. We want to scale the amount of armor that we break. So that will be sweet. We could also grab attack speed, so I'm going to probably come down here and see what's up. Lily turned my treadmill down, walking by. All good. But that's what we're doing. That's what I'm thinking, at least. But this is also what we did to get through Act 2. We are level 34 at the moment, and we have 1 Ascension. So that's kind of... I think we killed the Act 1 boss at level 17. Killed the Act 2 boss at level 34. Just right on, you know, right on. So that's my stuff for now. In terms of my skills, we're primarily just doing the same kind of thing that we did before for clear. As you saw, we're like shield charging people to get them primed for stun, maybe even leap slamming to get them primed for stun, or if we have to, rolling slam to get them primed for stun, and then bone shattering for clear. That's the main thing. And then single target is pretty much just good old perfect strike, but I'll show you what we got socketed in. So Mace Strike, I don't really use it that much right now, but we have Execute socketed in there. We have Martial Tempo socketed in there, but for Martial Tempo, I would rather have that in Leap Slam, so we can put Bleed on Mace Strike with Execute. That's fine, doesn't really matter. Rolling Slam, I'm pretty sure Fist of War is still bugged with Rolling Slam to actually make it do a smaller AoE when it's empowered. Oh no, it's not, look at that. You actually see the dent. It looks a little bit bigger. No, it's not. It definitely, it doesn't, it's like working in a weird way, that's for sure. Regardless, I'll take the more damage on it for right now. Regardless, we'll take the more damage, and it also does a little bit of fire damage, which is kind of irrelevant, but Rolling Slam isn't something I use a ton, but it's something I use sometimes. Bone Shatter, we have that with Impact, Shockwave, and Brutality. So it deals more physical damage, but no elemental damage. This is kind of weird, because we are dealing some damage as fire, and so I might want to take this out at some point. But for now, that's what I have socketed in there. I think if I get enough intelligence, we could put like more AoE on there. Or if we get more like support gems, we could put like close combat on there. But right now, Bone Shatter's just hitting for big physical damage, and that's fine. I am kind of curious though, what happens if we take it off? Yeah, its average damage per use does go up, not having it there. It does like 34 to 60 fire damage if we don't, so later on we'll take it off, but for right now it's fine. For Leap Slam, I have it stunning enemies more, and I usually like Martial Tempo on there, just so it's a little bit faster of an attack. It does cost a lot of mana, so you have to kind of keep that in consideration, but we're doing that. We're using this to stun enemies as an opener for Bone Shattering. For Infernal Cry, I currently have Corrupting Cry on there just for a little dot. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think I'd probably rather have my first point of Corrupting Cry, or of like support gem, just make this do 15% more damage than power. Another little question in chat. Will you ever play WoW again? Of course, of course. But right now I'm having a lot of fun with PoE. For Shield Charge, we have this with Stomping Ground, so it puts that little like little rumbler effects behind it whenever you charge. That's pretty cool. For Perfect Strike, that's our main single target bread and butter. We have the shorter timing window with more damage, and we have less AoE for more damage. So that's doing some big bonks that you saw in the boss there. The reduced AoE doesn't really matter that much. It's kind of a small AoE anyway. Then we have Herald of Ash as our primary buff. Now, in terms of this, what I'm probably finna do is we are going to add my Lesser Jeweler's Orb to Perfect Strike. We got one from the boss. I'm going to chuck it on there. Now we have options, right? We can either do Eternal Flame for more Ignite duration, which is kind of cool. Or we could just come up here and grab, like, more fire damage, right? Just extra fire damage on top of all that, because we're not really using the other one that much. We could chuck it on there, or we could do the Ignite, which is also fine. Enemies, you know, they're usually gonna have the Ignite refresh, but I could just chuck that on there for now and leave it alone. But another option would just be to add more damage to it somehow, right? So Fire Infusion would make sense. Put Martial Tempo on there to make it attack faster, or whatever. But we'll just chuck this on there because it's kind of cool. You can also put Eternal Flame on... Oh, I wish you could put on Herald of Ash. I was thinking you could, but you cannot. Anyway, never mind. This is fine. That's what I'll do for now. And then that's pretty much what you're doing. You're running around, trying to prime enemies for stun with some combination of Leap Slam, Rolling Slam, or Shield Charge. And then you're bopping them with a Bone Shatter. If things aren't primed, you just Rolling Slam them some more. Or you could even whack them with some Perfect Strikes. That's the strat, with some Shield Charges. That's the strat. Now for my gear, just for fun, we have this item, which is giving us % fizz, flat fizz, attack speed. The crit stuff doesn't matter because we don't crit anymore. But if I didn't have the Resolute Technique, we'd probably only have like 90-something% chance to hit, like a small 90% chance to hit. Don't like that. My helmet right now is armor, life, and fire res. So again, you want resistance, life, and then some kind of defense on your gear, as always. My shield is life resist. My amulet, we do need some mana regen, so we have a little bit of mana regen on the amulet. The chest piece is resists, life, defense. By defense, I mean armor, evasion, that kind of thing. For rings, we just have a big old fire res, mana, life for enemy killed, which is kind of okay. For this, we have lightning resist, defense, and then a little bit of all res, which is kind of cute. For these gloves, we put them on because they have a socket. We need that fire res. The armor and life leech is kind of whatever, but we needed that socket for the fire res. And on these boots, we have movement speed is the most important thing on boots. It has 2 resistances. Now it has mana, which is not that important, and armor, so that's just... It is what it is. It's got life regen on it. And then the belt is armor, life, strength. Pretty cool. So we're playing SSF, so all of our gear is going to be really scrappy. In addition to the fact that we're playing in Act, 2. We're in the first acts. I like that this flask gives you a charge when you kill an enemy, but I think the best one for flask is just charges over time. Gains 0.15 charge every second or whatever it is. I was using a fire res charm, and then mana has the charges per second. That's probably the best thing. This is working out fine for now. But that's my guy. So far, so fun. Act 2. HCSSF viable. We're gonna go into Act 3, which was probably the hardest act for me when I leveled up the first time. We'll see how this guy handles it, but that's where my character's at right now. Give you guys the update of the Dreadnought, the boss, and the build update, just to kind of give you a feel for how the character's going, how the character's progressing. And if you guys want to have a little warrior leveling setup that involves a one-hander, go for it. If you wanted to do a two-hander, then you would probably just go down here instead of up here, and then you're pretty much still good to go, as long as you don't mind doing some fire damage, which feels good so far because Perfect Strike kind of carries your single target and your boss killing. But yeah, if you're able to play this build without dying, and you're able to play this build finding all of your own gear without even buying anything, it's at least good enough for that, so to get you started. And if you're playing normal trade, then you can die and you can buy gear and you'll be even stronger. But it's at least strong enough to get you to Act 2 Hardcore SSF, and we're going to see how it handles Act 3 coming up on stream. But there we go. We'll get that highlighted and uploaded, and Warrior Leveling Guide Part 2 will be good. All right. Sounds good.